Salutations, fellow nerds. I'm Rick Y, and today is April 10th, 2025. Yesterday, Trump announced a 90-day pause on tariffs, and the market popped. But that rally's already been overshadowed by whispers of fraud and corruption. Why? Well, because data shows a huge buy-in just minutes before Trump's announcement, raising serious insider trading alarms. And that's not the only thing making headlines. Trump's big, beautiful budget bill is limping through Congress like a three-legged mule. Meanwhile, MAGA finds itself spinning in a whirlpool of blame, excuses, and a logical fallacy called tu quoque, but they did it too defense. If we don't start calling this out, whataboutism's gonna be the only thing Republicans have left on their platform, besides blatant, lawless corruption that we haven't seen since the days of the robber barons. So if you're into news, history, or humorous American hogwash, make sure to drop your 2 cents in the comments, and let's come at this head on. So yesterday was a big one. Trump spun his 90-day tariff pause as a win, claiming countries were crawling to him, begging for mercy. Reality check, that didn't happen. He folded under economic pressure. But tariffs on China? Still in place. And now there's a 10% flat tariff across the board. Markets rallied because tariffs are bad for business. Retail, manufacturing, and agricultural were staring down the barrel of higher prices and slower sales. But here's what raised eyebrows: a sharp spike in stock purchases just before the news dropped. And then, boom, another green surge, just like the one we saw after Bloomberg leaked related info last week. And that's your signal. When money moves before the news hits the wire, someone's got the cheat codes. Now, lawmakers are demanding investigations. Who bought in? What did they know and when? Hedge fund managers, super PAC-linked shell companies? Someone's playing this system like they've memorized the Konami code. Now, to my older viewers, you might remember the Nixon Shock. For the younger crowd, here's a short version. In 1971, Nixon blew up the global financial system. He took the U.S. off the gold standard, froze wages and prices, and slapped a 10% import tax on foreign goods. Sound familiar? That move turned the U.S. dollar into a faith-based currency backed by nothing but the vibes and government trust. Inflation spiked, the world economy entered a new age of volatility, and Nixon made it clear. We're not just changing the rules, we're rewriting the whole damn game. That's why I've always supported AOC's push to ban congressional stock trading. If you're writing the rules of the game, you shouldn't be allowed to bet on it. Now let's talk about the budget bill boondoggle. It's a hot mess, even by MAGA standards. What this does is it jacks up defense spending, it slashes Medicaid and SNAP, tosses tax cuts to the super wealthy like candy, and promises infrastructure with no plan to pay for it. No strategy, no mission statement, just vibes and red meat for donors. Even Republicans are split. Hardliners say it spends too much. Moderates call it cruel and unrealistic. Everyone else see it as just budget gimmicks, rosy revenue projections that only work if nothing ever goes wrong again. And yet, despite public grumbling, they passed it 2016 to 2014. MAGA unity always wins when it counts, even if it means voting for a dumpster fire. Next up, appropriations. Congress now has to pass 12 bills by September 30th that determine how the money gets spent. If they don't, we're looking at another shutdown, another self-inflicted crisis brought to you by the same crowd that yells fiscal responsibility while setting the couch on fire. Don't tell JD. If this budget were a family dinner, billionaires are eating steak, the middle class is doing the dishes, and the poor are told they're lucky to smell the food. Once again, working-class Republicans handed the keys to the fox and told it to watch the hen house. So how does this affect your average American Joe? Honestly, it doesn't really seem like many conservatives care about insider trading as long as they can point their fingers. Pelosi did it. It's all the excuse they need to let their leaders rob retirement accounts and funnel the cash upwards. Same with classified documents. Trump had them, well, Hillary's emails, or Hunter Biden, or Obama's tan suit. It's all tu quoque, a logical fallacy that says if they did it too, then it's fine. It's not accountability, it's deflection, and it's eroding what little credibility remains in the Republican Party. Look at the EU's retaliatory tariffs. They're specifically targeted at Republican strongholds. Globally, confidence in the GOP is fading, and it turns out own the libs doesn't build lasting economic alliances. And this all brings us back to the robber barons of the Gilded Age. And just like today, back then, industrialists exploited every loophole. They rigged markets, crushed labor, bought Congress, and avoided taxes. Now, MAGA-aligned insiders are doing the same exact thing, just with better tech and somehow worse haircuts. Back then, it was telegrams and cigar smoke. Today, it's encrypted chats and political action committees, but the hustle hasn't changed. If you've made it this far, I respect you. I know this can be a slog, but it's important. These aren't new games, but they've been pulled out of the cellar and dusted off for a second Gilded Age. I want to hear from y'all in the comments. What's it going to take for us to reclaim the dignity of our grandparents? If you haven't already, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and remember, y'all come back now. You hear?